Hey everybody, welcome to this week's Star Report. This is Jason, and I'm here at New Dimensions Crystals and Reiki in downtown Brenham, Texas. And I just bumped my microphone. It is the report for January 17th through the 23rd. Today's Wednesday. It is Wednesday the 17th, January 2024. Hope you're still having a good new year. If you haven't turned me on until now, go back and watch the last two. It's a crazy new year. The sun, which is our closest star, which is why I report on it in the star report, is quiet. It is in one of those lull points. It's usually 3 to 5.5 month cycle of, and then back up to a peak. So we're a couple weeks out from a peak. So there are some sunspots. They just aren't sending a whole lot of energy our way. And when we get a low activity sun, we usually start to feel a little bit of sluggishness now. I'm not sure the correlation of colder temperatures, but obviously, if you're in the United States, it has been colder than quote unquote normal. And So you might be thinking the weather has got you feeling sluggish and unenergetic, but it is lack of broadcast from the sun. And The only people, when I say the only people, a lot of you might be thankful for the respite that the sun is being nice to us. Um, but people who have cardiac issues might be feeling a specific respite because the sun and its activity is correlated to heart activity and sometimes heart trauma. So pay attention to that if that is going on with you. Yeah, so should be quiet for the week. We shall see. Moving into today, Wednesday, for the rest of the star system, the thing that's affecting us most is the planet Saturn, ruler of Capricorn, I believe. I said it last week, so go back to last week and double check and see if I'm right. Um, and that's going to give you sort of this sense of inner calm, right? So the sun or the solar weather is conjoining with the rest of the star system to sort of give us that sense of inner calm. Saturn is really going to be involved in heart activation. And so heart activation is really heart attunement, heart adjustment, heart tuning, heart opening. Yeah. So your heart chakra, or your actual physical organ of the heart, is sort of governed by the heart chakra, which is this nice little vortex, which is in the center of the chest. Usually, colors change all of the time, but when they started to give it a color, the dominant color used to be green, but that can be in the eyes of the observer, and it can shift into other colors like gold and white and multicolored. So not necessarily going to get a sense of a color, but maybe sort of pay attention. The colors you're choosing to wear today or this week might have green involved in them. Maybe hues of cream and gold and white. Um, might be some of the things that you do. And so this heart opening or this heart activation is really going to either, if you're sort of in your groove, if you're sort of in your wheelhouse, if you have chosen a path or you're living your life, it's going to just sort of push you forward. It's going to feel like you can I don't say coast, but it's going to feel like you have extra juice in the tank and you can sort of keep moving towards that goal. If, however, your life is not as organized or in order as you think it should be, it might cause a shit show. And you really have this inkling to sort of change direction. Like, hey, this isn't the right direction. I'm going the exact wrong way. And now, the thing that a lot of us are struggling with is that we're neither of those. Like, I don't know what I want or where I want to go. This is going to allow you to investigate that. Maybe these are times for epiphanies where you can decide or get information about what direction you should be taking. Moving us into Thursday. Thursday is really going to be governed by Mercury. We're still for a couple more days. You'll see in the report when we're not. A couple more days, we're in the post shadow of Mercury retrograde. So Mercury on Thursday is really going to be triggering, causing you to think of, causing you to discern who gets to go along on this new journey, this direction. Your heart is wide open. Are the people in your life or the people in your work worthy of coming along for the ride, helpful on the ride, have to come along for the ride anyway? Right. So it's sort of adjusting, like, how is that trip going to go? Who gets to be on the bus? Who has to sit in what place? Who gets to control the radio? All those kinds of things are really to consider on Thursday. Who do you want to do this with? Like, who? This is some big shit coming up, big stuff coming up in the next week, which is kind of important. So it's almost like if you were going on a big adventure, who do you think can make it through? And who do you think you need to take with you, even if they can't make it through? Those kinds of things. The hero's journey, if you were, all kinds of movies based around such things of who can make it through the apocalypse or the big change. Friday. Friday's really when you decide on today what you're doing. Thursday, who's coming with. Friday is really if you want something, you have to do something. Right. So don't just plan out your life. Don't just decide what you want to do. Start acting towards that. That's the energy of Friday. And leads us into the perfect energy of Saturday. Saturday is 11 Master Day, perfect for the doing, especially the doing of something new. Master Day really just sort of means the numerology of the calendar, right? And you can get into all of the things of the calendar is made up or the calendar is constructed by people who don't care, blah, 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 so on and so forth. The group understanding, the hive mind is governed by these numbers. So when we hit an 11 Master Day, the energy it's just hits that. It's kind of like if you're in a car and the odometer hits 11, right? It's just 11 for whoever's in the car, whether they were there for the entire 11 miles or not, whether the odometer got stuck, right? That unification, that synchronicity of the numbers matter. And so that's Saturday's an 11 Master Day, perfect for acting because you can have the control, the energy to master your destiny. So that's Saturday's energy. Leading into Sunday is the intense energy that I was talking about, generational change. Sunday the 21st is the post shadow of Mercury retrograde is over. Yay, Mercury, go away. It's really not that bad, but we all get frustrated by slowdowns in travel and communication and internet, miscommunications. We always get confused by people coming back into our lives, patterns repeating themselves during Mercury retrogrades. And so that's why people sort of give it a big deal. Once again, same thing. If you think that's all crap, the group consciousness which we exist in does not. And so that's why it's good to pay attention to that. So not only that, on the 21st, Pluto, little guy out front, way out there in the middle of, or at the end of the solar system, is moving into Aquarius and will be there for 20 years. So 20 years is usually, now things move so fast, who knows? But in the common understanding, 20 years is a generation. So this is a generational change. What are you going to do for the next generation? Right? Whatever point in life you happen to be in, right? This is the 20 years which you get to sort of move into stuff like that. Ooh, totally losing some notes. I was like, I have some notes, but maybe I put it on the next page. I have so many pages of notes. So that 20 years generational change, Pluto into Aquarius, it is, I'll talk about that on the next thing, but also on the 21st, the sun goes into Aquarius. And so the sun moving into Aquarius, that's the zodiac sign. Aquarius is commonly understood as the water bearer of water, which water is usually associated with spirituality or emotion. And so when we move into the sign of Aquarius, look for emotional awakenings, emotional understandings. And when You look at the alchemical body. I always talk about where does that sort of reference the zodiac in the physical form. Physically, it's usually the ankles, right? And so if you were going to, this is also the end of the cycle, right? So the zodiac starts over again after this. And so the ankles are really sort of where you sort of get your stability. If you were going to change directions, you would have to plant a foot and then use the ankle to sort of pivot that way. And so you want to think of the ankles and Aquarius is coinciding, that they're helping you or guiding you towards choosing your direction, but also returning higher, right? If you're going to leap, you can go back up towards the heavens. You would need to do that, right? So if you were going to take this generation of time of Pluto moving into Aquarius to move higher, then you would need to begin with launching from the ankles. It is also associated in the body with salts in the blood, or a sodium solution in the blood, right? So this is really about balancing. Some people in the modern sense will not talk about salts in the blood, but they'll talk about minerals, right? So this is about Celtic sea salt kind of stuff, Baja gold, adding those to your water, making sure that you have enough minerals in the body to create something new. Also, salt crystals are really conductive of spiritual energy. And one could think that if they are a crystalline structure, then they also are things that can hold extra bandwidth of memory, which is why a lot of times crying happens around memories, right? We're releasing old memories, old thoughts. Sweating releases old processes and old stuff out of the body as well. And so that salt solution, and then it continues to also associate itself with that little the last two vertebrae, not the last three now from Capricorn, uh, and the Kundalini. And so sort of pay attention when the energy shifts on the 21st to just your salt intake or your mineral intake. Maybe you want to adjust that. Maybe if you're really into testing stuff like that, you can go get your blood work done. And then energy, tingling, pressure in the bottom of the spine, base of the spine. And then also maybe you might have some tenderness in the ankles, or maybe they're a little bit more springy and they're ready to go. All that's happening on the 21st. It's really the time of cleansing, right? And so sometimes you can think not just about the waters are being poured down in Aquarius, the water bearer, but that we have the ability to spring out of the water cleansed, is an energy that you might want to be thinking about for Sunday. Monday, the 22nd, you really are going to be basking in that Pluto energy, right? Pluto, since it's going to be there 20 years, you might think you have time. Usually, most of the change and the effort's done in the first year or so. And so we want to get going on that. And so the energy of Pluto is really about taking on your strengths and your powers, right? So what are you good at? What are your strengths, right? And really start to guide yourself by that, right? And this might be looking back to where can you do that? Who's going along for the ride? Mercury might have been informing you about how you're going to take your strength and your power back. And then this is also the energy of Pluto is about bringing out your gifts and your talents, right? What are you good at you don't let anybody know about? Or maybe it's like you start to showcase those. A lot of us, especially if you're watching a star report, are probably into metaphysics, and we sort of keep a lot of our metaphysical talents, understandings, epiphanies to ourselves. We don't broadcast them. Friends, family, coworkers might think we're weird. We don't know how to brand them. We think that it is something spiritual and therefore not meant to be marketed. But the energy of Pluto is absolutely do that shit. Quit hiding it. Bring out your talents, because these talents have been nurtured, given, cleansed, and are ready for you to participate in the creation of a new earth, right? This isn't necessarily a new nation. This isn't necessarily the fixing of stuff that's broken. This is really the energy of preparing or creating, beginning the new earth, right? Whether that's a new level of consciousness, the beginning would be proposed to start now, right? So when that beginning sort of happens, also pay attention to people trying to break down old things or old things breaking down quicker, right? So if you are concerned about 2024 and social whatever social unrest, there we go, that's the word. I was like, I'm looking for a word. Social unrest, then this is the energy of Pluto, and you should welcome it and be planning on what you're going to build in its place. Leading us to Tuesday the 23rd, Uranus, which is still in retrograde, is leading you to this generational change and just paying attention to what the stuff Pluto, or excuse me, Uranus is really about independence, learning to trust these abilities out loud, exploring new lifestyle, experiencing a new image of the self, finding courage to sort of do something new, right? So this energy of Uranus is still going to be helping you at least till the end of the month. On Tuesday, the 23rd, Uranus is really the energy. That leads us to, that's the end of the day. Next week, the report might look different. I'm going to be traveling. I don't know if I'm going to pre-record, record super early or at a different time, or record on my phone the report. But I do plan on having that up. But I will be out of the shop next week, Wednesday to the Wednesday after that. So if you're going to make it to the shop, you got to make it in this week. Here at New Dimensions Crystals in downtown Brenham, you can always go to newdimensionscrystals.com and check availability of sessions. I do have a shared breath work session coming up. We did this the other week, and now I'm totally crazy about what day it actually is happening. I think it is February the 11th on a Sunday. That's going to be in LaGrange. It's going to be at 5 p.m. Look for my website to post that, or maybe our Facebook page, and then I'll mention it here some more. If you are in the area, that's going to be a breathwork with a sound bath. Dodie Rogers, who maybe some of y'all have seen in the shop, is the one doing the sound bath. I'm the one doing the breathwork, and we had a really good time the last time we did this. So we're going to do it again. So I think that's everything. If you want to contact me, leave a comment, like and subscribe, show your friends. And until next time, everybody, many blessings.